Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Yoruus speaking and welcome to Play by Email 6, turn 55. Okay, let's see what's cooking. Yay! The plan is working perfectly at the moment. About this side, the plan is working perfectly. I like it. I like it tremendously. The only problem is going to be escort for that settler, but we're gonna probably fix this. The settler is going to go here, the warrior should be able to meet there quite soon. Alright, let's check out the comments. What's up? First of all, let's see the Stroples questions. I'm gonna leave those Stroples for one more turn. So Strople number 1, what do we do with the gold? You keep it for Lake Victoria. Alright, fine with that. Do we chop the river forest in Victoria City? No. Cool. Build order in Victoria City worker granary. Alright. And where do we go with Fort City? Cocoa as the first. Okay, I'm gonna keep those 4 Stroples up and running yet, so you can, if you haven't voted on them, you can still vote. In the links are in the description below. And now we need to do a couple of more Stroples today. Do we need more Stroples? Well, we kinda have one more turn. Well, Shumi says to. Okay, I'm gonna pick on comments first, alright? So, we've got a comment from Will Parker. Do you have any idea which shifts could be to the west of Lake Victoria? No, sadly I do not. I need to speak to Byzantines about that. But I'm not sure if he can actually tell me that. I need to talk to him, basically. Sudiri Interactive play by email? Yes, it seems like it. I'm like, why the heck not? Nick. I love the worksheet. Yeah, I gotta do that. When I can do that. Thumbs up, Yoruus. I think getting the scouts some hits is fine, particularly as you want double vision scouts. You may want to eventually build another 1 or 2 in Victoria and slam them into barbs. In turn-based combat, the extra vision is fantastic. That's a great idea, and I'm actually gonna write this down. I'm gonna write this down, Nick, so I will not forget it. There we go. I'm gonna write it down. Play by email 6. Because I'm running 5 play-by-emails right now, and soon the other is going to be uploaded, especially play-by-email 1, so I don't want to confuse any of those. So, ideas: get 2-3 scouts and farm vision on barbs. I like that idea. Vision will be very, very helpful. I had a very hard time in other play-by-emails learning how to fight on turn-based combat, and I gotta agree that vision is like a super important stuff in turn-based combat. So I really love that idea, Nick. I really love that idea. If we're going worker granary in Victoria, then starting with calendar before wheel is fine. Well, we still need to get that Stropole on science. So I propose to do it like this. We've got for now 2 options. Well, 3 options. 3 options then. So we've got one option is wheel. Go straight for wheel, then horseback. The other option is masonry into calendar. And now there's a proposition about calendar. So we've got 3 options on the table. Calendar, wheel, masonry as our next tech choice. Right? Well, and the reasons about it well, calendar gives us the ability to improve plantation, right? Now, will we be able to get a plantation up and running relatively soon? My answer is no. Yeah, my answer is no. And why do I say such a thing? Well, the first thing is we do the math about that, and now Victoria City is gonna have a worker in 18 turns, right? It's gonna have a worker in 18 turns, and it still has like the silver to improve, and before it's gonna get to cotton, so that 18 turns with the travel time and all the other stuff in here, it's still 18 turns if we're actually gonna buy the silk or not, and we need to have some sort of an escort in here. So the worker from Lake Victoria can improve can improve the silk in 18, 90, 20, 21, chopping 3 turns, so that's around 24. In 24 turns, around so, unless we want to have silver on the way to silk improved, that's probably around 30 turns, right? So calendar we can delay theoretically by roughly, let's say, yeah, 30 turns. It could be like a third tech that we're gonna discover, right? So calendar is relatively not needed in Lake Victoria City. That's the Silk City, but we can get calendar to get the extra happiness for this city. Now this city, since you guys voted that we want to go for cocoa first, this city is gonna be there in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plant 10 turns. All right. So for this city, immediately get happiness. From this city, it's gonna be a wise choice to get calendar, right? So that says something about the calendar idea right now. So this is like the calendar options, the pluses and minuses of calendar option. Like instant calendar gives us theoretically almost instant happiness in the fourth city, which is cool. Not like we need that happiness too much right now, because we're gonna work on the gems relatively soon. That's +4 happiness. Extra cities cost 3.6 and 1 for population, so that's 4.6. We're gonna plant 2 cities, 4.6, so that's 8, that's 9. I kind of like the 8, yeah, 9, and still we're gonna improve the gems. So calendar could be a second tech basically that we want to get, though having it done would be cool, because we can start working on that. And my capital will definitely not get a worker for a long time. Like worker in this capital is gonna be roughly around, well, we need to get cargo ship into this city as well, so it's probably gonna be around 14, 17, 17, 20 couple of turns, so more like 30 turns also. So like calendar is not a must, but would be cool to get for the extra happiness there. Now let's consider masonry choice. Now masonry choice will allow us to start improving the stone, and now, which is relatively cool and bad, let's take into account the time that we need to put into actually improving the stuff in here. This city is gonna get archers, right? And I actually wouldn't mind a stoneworks in this city for extra happiness and extra hammers right now in here as well. But also there's no rush for stoneworks. But at the same time, improving the quarry sounds interesting by itself. But this city is going to grow to horses, so I can as well improve the horses. And there's probably no need to get quarries. So kind of masonry is like the least of the options that I want to get in here. I want to get there eventually, but it's probably the least important stuff, because we do like to have the extra luxuries. We do want stoneworks eventually, but quarries is not like a top priority right now, since considering like getting to stables is probably better, but like insta quarries first, I'm not sure. We're definitely going to move the worker in here, start working on this mine, and it's probably going to take 5 or 7 turns to improve it. So 5-7 turns we can go later on to the other gems, but it's not really that great. We can get another gems for improvement, so we could work on the cow though to get a little bit extra growth, and then we can probably improve the horse for another good tile. Then we could go for quarry. So I do like the idea of calendar and masonry, but I don't believe that masonry should come before calendar. Now the latter question is later on, shall we go, do we want masonry before horseback riding? Now this is an interesting choice. Horses will be immensely powerful on this sort of flatland, right? And we already established, Sidri said that multiple times, that stables in all of my cities gonna be like, it's gonna be explosion, right? Why do I say it's gonna be explosion? Because this city, Brillianto, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 extra hammers. 4 extra hammers, Brillianto. Capital, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 extra hammers. That's 8 hammers already. Lake Victoria City, 1, 2, 3, 3 extra hammers, 11 extra hammers. Cocoa City, we're gonna get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 8. That's 21 extra hammers. And Citrus City, 1, 2, 3, 4, and God knows how many more. So that's around 30 hammers that we could potentially use with horseback. So I do agree that I want to get to stables. I even can delay tons of stuff. I can delay libraries. I can delay tons of stuff just to get horseback done. And on top of that, if we can crank out a little bit of horses and archers, we're safe to defend like forever. And even we can farm horses, like farm barbs with horses basically, and get them improved with the flatland. Whew, that's just pull brilliance. So I kind of like that idea, but at the same time I don't want to give myself. So I was like thinking myself, I'm gonna make the stropole later on, unless you're gonna get after this turn, on the next turn, when we're gonna have one turn left out on sailing, I'm gonna do the stropole about the technologies. But I do like the idea of getting calendar, then going into wheel and into horseback for fast stables, and skipping masonry later on, masonry for stoneworks, because horseback actually stable is going to give us so much more hammers than stoneworks would ever be able to give us. Stoneworks in any of this is basically, stoneworks is extra 3, 4, 5 hammers and 2 happiness, and that's about it, right? Because no of the other, well, this city is gonna have stoneworks most probably, so like stoneworks will be passed on later on. The immediate hammer gain is just a little bit slower, so I'm myself opting for calendar first, just to get that immediate happiness from Silverado. Lake Victoria worker will be able to get to the silk, chop down the forest on silk, and possibly improve it for another extra happiness. And then worker from Silverado is gonna be able to probably improve the mine and work on all the other stuff. And while we're gonna have the calendar, work on the wheel and go to horseback ASAP, so we can get those stables done as soon as possible. I think the timing should be relatively correct, right? I believe so, at least. So that's my basically ideas about the tech path. So for now we've got calendar, wheel, masonry, and I'm gonna put that stropole on the next turn, not on this one, on the next turn, because I would like to hear your opinion about my thought process. And my thought process right now is getting calendar first, then going to the wheel and horses as soon as possible, because I really like Sidri's idea that we want stables as soon as possible. We want to get them done and get like double hammers in all of our cities when the stable is gonna be done. I tremendously like that idea. Alright, Nick, please send Fort Settler to the Cocoa. Yes, I'm sending Fort Settler to the Cocoa because you voted like that. Guys, you voted for Cocoa City, and we're gonna go there though in 3 turns, obviously. You want the free monument and aqueduct there. Person, I think the 5th should go to Citrus, but we can talk about that. Yeah, well, Stropole kinda says it all. Cocoa wins, then Citrus, so I imagine Citrus is gonna be also on another Stropole. But we're gonna make a Stropole, we're gonna keep to the Stropole tradition in here, and we're gonna make a Stropole after the fifth settler is gonna be available, but we're gonna do it later on. Something to keep in mind, you can send one of your first 2 ships to Victoria to get even bigger, and then when we finally build 6th city and granary, change it to go to the capital. Remember that 2 cargo ships will shine most after the tradition finisher and aqueduct. I think we can delay 6th city quite some time since we're so far away from finishing tradition. I do agree and I disagree. Now, I disagree with the idea of delaying 6th city. If we're gonna go 6 cities, we need to do it now, before NC. We can't delay the 6th city after NC, or we need to do it now. If we're planting 6 cities, we do it now. Like instantly now. Even like getting another settler right now before the granary or all the other buildings. We get it now. That's just my opinion. We don't want to delay this at all. Not a single turn. If we're gonna go 6 cities, we go and do it now. No later. We stick to the 6 city score, and then we think about stuff. So we do it now. And I do like the idea of getting that 6 city. I would hate to leave this land unplanted, unprotected with the fog of war, and losing this iron, this hill, this cow, this iron is something that I don't want to do. I want to get those hills worked. Probably the sheep also could be worked by this city with stables, so no problems there. The capital has tons of tiles to work in the meantime. It doesn't really require this sheep at all. So if we're gonna go 6 cities, I want to do it now. Like now. I would like to know your opinion. There's one more settler to go, but I would sincerely like to get a 6th city here. That's my personal opinion. I will abide by your vote though, but I want this 6th city here. I want this 6th city so we can have all this coastline used. We have a nice concave of cities in here. Now we can connect through this city and then go down here without the actual need of a road in here. Yeah, we're gonna have some space unused in here, but not too much, like a couple of jungle tiles, couple of river tiles, maybe one cow, and that's about it, about the stuff that we're not gonna use in this particular land, so it's not really like a huge deal. But I would like to get 6 cities now, so I would like to hear your opinion, and then we're gonna make a straw poll. Do we go 6 cities or 5 cities, basically? Getting the citrus city and establishing your land seems too important long term in my opinion. Please keep an eye on Byzantines and Germans. Have they planted the 4th city yet? Okay, let's see on how many cities they are. We can do that right now. So Byzantines have 3 cities for now, and Germany has 4 cities. Alright, so Germany has 4 cities, which means he has quite a bit of land in here if he's already on 4 cities. Alright, so Germany is a much better spot right now than Byzantines, which is quite interesting because I thought like, oh whoa, hell, Byzantines might be rocking strong, but no, Germany is rocking strong, very very strong, leading in demographics right now tremendously. So that's gonna be interesting. We're gonna have interesting neighbors basically. Fearsome warrior. No need to buy silver at the capital now because you'll work food after finishing those settlers and won't need silver until you get cargo ship. That's correct. Will Parker, love the series. I love it too. Like, this interaction is just great. I love it. I love it too. I really like. I'm so super happy that you're enjoying those series. I really am. Ashem, maybe you even want to get worker library in Victoria because that city gonna grow fast to maybe pop 4, and 2 science from library is better than 2 food from granary. I disagree, Ashem. Build order in that city is definitely worker right now. You voted for it, straw poll. Worker into a granary. Granary is a must. There's nothing. Why you're saying that 2 science is better than 2 food from granary? Yeah, I'm like, maybe, but 8 food to our capital. No. We cannot delay 8 food to our capital. No way. So first, granary cargo ship to our capital, and then we can do whatever we want. But I would imagine we're gonna get either a worker for the other 2 cities, or we're gonna get a couple of units there to control the bar population a little bit more. Shumi, don't know if you're using this usual in your games, but since this is a heavy micromanaging game, I propose you stop taking sailing at 1 turn left, since you not really need it in 3 turns for any builds in cities yet. Start taking whatever you decide to tech, then that when you actually need some tech, you just switch 1 turn before you need it, and you might get cheaper tech cost if 2 of your current neighbors already tech some of them. PS, you again missed the 3rd iron in your capital when you counted tasks which you want to work. Alright, well, I usually don't, well, I do it sometimes, but not at the early game like this, and now I don't really see an advantage of this, because like sailing, seems like calendar is researched. Look at this. This is 1 science discrepancy, the cost. Calendar is research, 1 science trapping is research, wheel is research, masonry seems to be researched, bronze working, or I don't know. I'm like, one science is not no, it's not possible, right? So I don't think any of them have actually any of those texts researched, which is quite strange, because they should. Like, let's do this. Nobody's at writing, so it's hard to tell what's going on around this place. But we've met 3 people, and look at that. Sailing is 73, calendar is 73, writing is 74, trapping 73, wheel 73, masonry 73. I can't imagine they have those texts already in here. It's not possible, right? So it's between like 4, 5. I don't know why writing is 74. But I'm gonna tech sailing 1 more turn now. Please try to say to me, why wouldn't I want to research sailing? What's the benefit about it? So they don't get cheaper tech? Research the cheaper tech so they don't know what tech we actually do research? Is that the idea about it? We can switch to calendar right now for 1 turn. but that will not abide to the vote. So okay, let's agree. I'm gonna put the stropple right now, and it's going to be picked between the techs right now. So we're gonna go one turn and try to implement what Shumi is doing and hide our tech a little bit, so we'll not give the tech advantage to our all neighbors basically, and we can still see what they are researching and which way they are going. So I'm gonna put calendar, wheel, masonry, 3 tech choices, and there's gonna be stropple in the description below, so you can check it out. Alright, so that's that. And the last comment is, are you not worried about Germany settling Cocoa before you if you don't settle it as your fourth city? Well, you all decided that we're going to go fourth city to Cocoa, and I do have that agreement with Germany that he's not going to step across this river. So I really am hoping that he will abide to the deal, and we're gonna have a peaceful relationship. It's like the best. We're 3 in here right now. It's like the best option for us to keep some sort of a 3-way stalemate right now, and nobody wants to go war or have bad relationships. So I think like Germany has agreed with Byzantine about this part of the land. I agreed with Germany about this side of the land to be our border, and Byzantine also allowed me to settle in here, so I do feel like this side of the story is safe. This side of the land is safe to settle, so I'm not really that concerned about that. Alright, so let's move the scout. It shouldn't die at all. Attacking over river with a wounded barb shouldn't be a big problem, and this way I can heal a little bit in this side. It's hard for me to imagine that a barb's gonna spawn in here and kill our settler, and if a barb's gonna spawn in here and kill our settler, then I'm sort of kind of happy that it will happen. No, I won't be happy that it will happen, so let's go back. Oh, and there's another fish. Look at that bad boy. Alright? So like a 6th city is an interesting choice in here, because we're gonna get another fish. So this city is turning into something even more useful right now, taking into account that fish. What would you say about that? I kind of like that idea very much, because we're gonna have a fish here. There's not gonna be any barbs spawning on this side of the land, so I don't think we need to protect this side of the land against any cargo, any ships. So like a trireme and a cargo ship is going to be more than enough to defend the cargo ship. 1 trireme here, and we can send the cargo ship back to our capital with ease. And like even a scout put it in here will protect this side from any barbs encampment that we could have problems with in here. And probably a scout in the city also is going to be a cool idea. All right. Anything else? I think that summarized this turn, so I'm gonna keep the stropples there for this turn. The stropples from the previous turn. Those one build order in Victoria City. What do we do with the gold? Where do we settle the fourth city? And do we chop the forest? So those 4 stropples gonna be there. I'm gonna put another stropple in here. What's gonna be the tech? And now, what about the city name? We've got only two names, 2 propositions for name of our 3rd city. That's Shumopolis, and I love Shumi. Guys, we need more. We need more, or I'm gonna name it. Okay, I'm gonna name it. I'm gonna name it like something. I don't know, no name, for example. You just don't want to pick a name for it, and I don't want to call it I'm going to call it Shumopolis. If there's not going to be any more propositions until the next turn it's going to arrive at my PC, I'm going to call this name Shumopolis. Do you really want that? Do you really want it to be called Shumopolis? And there's one more stropple about the tech choices: calendar, wheel, or masonry. So that's going to be another stropple, so check the description below and vote. Alright, so I guess we're done for this turn then. So thank you very much for watching. I wish you a good day, good night, good evening, depending on the time zone you're in. And see you next time. Best wishes. Yoruus.